I leave a tip?
Oh, go skip on the tip because the tip is you coming in.
I like to leave tips, though.
No way. You're good.
Thank you so much. You have a great day. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
I just saw a wholesome video, and it's put me in a very wholesome mood. Speaking of, today I saw a person with a homeless sack. I looked it up, because I didn't know what to call it for this video. I looked up and it's called a hobo stick, which I guess makes sense. Hobo stick. That was the first time I saw that in real life. You always see them in cartoons and in pop culture. Not nowadays, but when I was a kid I saw them a lot. That was the picture of a homeless man, or, you know, someone who was prepared to drop everything and leave. They would pack themselves a hobo stick and get out of here. I'm going. That was a surreal experience. If you interested in details, you know, how was it a comically large hobo stick? Okay, buddy. Was it a comically large hobo stick? No. I was maybe a little disappointed. It didn't look like the cartoons I had seen, but it was a hobo stick nonetheless. It was quite a small sack, so I didn't see it when I was walking past him on the road, on the street. I was walking towards him and he was walking towards me, and I didn't see it, but as I walked right past him, I was like, what is that guy holding? And lo and behold, it was a hobo stick. Yeah, if I hadn't mentioned it, the sack was small. Bro was not packing. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe that was just his choice of bag, was a hobo stick, and I don't know, kind of cool if you ask me. Not very nice to wear, nice to hold, in my opinion. He had to drape it over his back. Oh yeah, might I add that the stick wasn't a stick that you'd pick up at your local Bunnings, but I guess I gotta say Home Depot for my American audience. A lot of my, not that I have an audience per se, but for the people that did watch my initial first video, I've got a sample size of 98 to deal with. The majority of people were from America, so howdy, my American folks. I feel like me saying howdy is similar to you guys saying g'day when talking to an Australian person. Like, yes, we do say g'day, but not really. You'd have to go to very, very rural Australia. I feel like, at least not where I'm from, you'd hear g'day often. I feel like it's a very, very popular pop culture to be like, g'day mate, how's it going? If I wanted to mock an Australian person, if I wanted to, you know, do a stereotype, I'd start off with g'day mate. Which kind of shows how we don't really say it here. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Yes, hobo stick. This is a natural stick. It wasn't a Home Depot bought stick. So, very odd choice. Very odd choice. He premeditated the hobo stick. He didn't just look into his house and be like, alright, that's the stick I'm going to choose to, you know, haul around my goods today. No, he like looked inside nature and was like, that is a stick. A perfect stick for my hobo act. He did look homeless as well, so I don't feel bad calling him a hobo. It's just, you know, that's what it's called. It was called a hobo stick. I looked it up on Google. Saddles are pretty precious, but now you can craft them, so I guess I don't really need to hold on to them. I remember years ago when I was playing Minecraft on a server with my friends during the COVID era. We all had a server during the COVID era. And saddles were the most sought after item, second to name tags, because you could only find them in mine shafts or of the like. And you couldn't craft them. Not that I know of. You couldn't craft them back then. So people would just be flaunting their horses and I wouldn't have a saddle and I'd just be stuck to the method of walking for traversing. So yeah, that's my spiel. That's why I feel the need to hoard saddles. We also need a name tag, speaking of. Where is... Here he is. He's trying to go to his family. Oh, that's pretty sad. Yeah, you can say hi. Yeah, we need to find a name tag. And in the meantime, I gotta find a name. I'm gonna assume that it's a dude. I feel like if it was a girl, she wouldn't have just stood there and watched me die. This dude is like a little lazy, you know. Yeah, you gonna say hi to your little distant cousins? I know, family gatherings can be a little awkward. Anywho, speaking about family and wholesomeness, as I recently got a job, I am now in the position to partake in the act of gift giving. Not having a job for a little bit has dwindled my funds, so I wasn't in the place to be dropping a couple whatevers on some gifts. But yeah, this is the first time in probably my life I've really given a gift to my family individually. Of course, not a communal gift. I would never do that. So I got my dad a jacket for his favorite rugby team, the Parramatta Eels. Then I got my mom initially I was going to get her a necklace that I thought was really cool. It was like this dragon. It was gold. It looked cool, but I had a deep feeling that she wouldn't like it. So I asked my sister, and she said, nope, she would never wear that. If it ain't gold, then don't get it, is apparently my mother's philosophy. Which is good, I guess, because at the end of the day, it does feel a little wasteful dropping $200 on jewelry that has the raw material equivalent of like $80 or $50. 80's being generous. It's probably I nearly said aardvark, but this is an armadillo. I voted for you guys for the mob election. Yes, you are indebted to me for your existence. Speaking of, I believe if I kill you, I would get a nice set of clothes for my dog. So, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. This feels horrible. The fact that they just sit there and just take the beating, they don't even run. I'm really questioning the moral. Okay. Wait. Do I have to kill them for the scoots, or do I have to harvest them like... Oh no, am I just killing them for no reason? I feel so bad. Surely it would have dropped by now. I probably should have ended that armadillo's suffering earlier, since I just watched it happen. I prolonged it. Okay, looks like they don't drop the scoots. I have to harvest them. So I end up getting her a Ralph Lauren... It's bad that I don't even know the name. A polo, whatever the polo brand is, Ralph Lauren, I think. Polo Ralph Lauren sweater to my sister's recommendation. And then I said, well, since that I'm pretty bad at selecting what type of jewelry you guys want, how about you pick something that you want? I said to my sister. And she said, okay, I'm gonna have to really think about this, because she takes shopping very seriously. So I guess I don't know how I feel about that. I still haven't gotten the gift yet for her, because it's gotta be bought on her terms. So it just feels like I'm a $200 gift card at this point. I'm not really gifting anything, am I? I'm just saying, okay, you have a voucher, you can redeem it within the next X amount of time. No real thought behind it, which is defeats the purpose of what I want to do. I wanted to be a nice surprise, but yeah, oh well. Speaking about more disappointment, I bought my mum and dad each their gifts, and I then was waiting for the delivery, and one of them, my father's, I ordered them at the same time, and my father's came. Oh, we're back here. I guess I went the wrong way. And yeah, my dad's came before my mum's. So naturally, I didn't have enough time to hide it, as I had an exam that day, and it came in the morning. And I came home, and my mum goes, "Oh, what's that parcel for?" And she had opened it. In my house, packages don't really stay hidden. So I had to say, "Oh, that's a gift for my dad." And then I could tell the slight twinge of dislike as she had probably inferred that I had gotten him a gift and not her. The favoritism. Now I always remind my parents that I love them both equally, but I don't think they believe that, because who really can? But it's true. In my heart, I love both my parents equally as you could. I mean, one of my worst fears, or not fears, because it's never gonna happen, but one of my nightmares, so to speak, not nightmares, but bad thoughts, what if thought scenarios that repeatedly pop into my head since I was 5, is that I'm on an edge of a cliff, and beneath there's lava, and both my parents are on the edge of the cliff hanging on by an arm, and I have to make the life or death choice to save one. I mean, I think this is a unique experience, but it probably isn't. It probably lingers in everyone's mind. The thought of having to... Please, there's monsters nearby, I need to sleep. The thought of having to pick between your parents in a life or death scenario. But yes, not really a fear. That will never happen to me. Oh, crap. Anywho, so I then heard from my sister the next day that during their shopping, my mum was, slagging me off, as the Brits would say. I was not in very good graces with her, as she thought that I just got my... Oh, wait, what? I just got my dad a gift and not her, and, she's cooked, cleaned after me, all this, raised me, and I don't give her anything in return. So, a little frustrating, that's not the case. Just wait one more day. The shipping is taking a day longer. So today it arrived and I gave her the gift, and her mood immediately switched. She was happy-go-lucky, but it was a little sad for me knowing that it was a little ruined. So next time, I don't know what the solution is. I gotta send them to a PO box or something, which is annoying. Now, after that story, I was going to segue into something else, but it required the Minecraft to actually play some good music, and currently it's being quiet right now. So I'll just say it. As I was trying to get back home, I didn't really want to record whilst trying to find my way back, because honestly, that's kind of boring. But look, it didn't really work in the end because, spoiler alert, I spawned here. I put my stuff in the chest. This is where the last video ended off, and now I'm back, so enjoy watching me not know where I'm going. But yes, as I was making my way back, this Minecraft music was really hitting. You can't hear anything right now. This one was playing at 110%. It was really in your face, and I had never heard it before. It was like wind chimes. It was just, I don't know, it really made me emotional. I was nearly teary-eyed. Not quite teary-eyed, but nearly. And I was like, damn. I guess this is a sign that I haven't really let out my emotions in a while. I feel like everyone needs to let them out, like every month, let them... You can't let them boil up because, you got a container and that's eventually going to explode. And my one's probably been... I can't think of the last time I had a good cry or really let out anger. But I feel like the emotions that are currently in me are a good... a crying type of emotion, those ones. Not that I'm sad or anything, it's just, everyone's got to let loose once in a while. And I feel like that's going to come soon. Just by that music, I could feel the volcano starting to erupt. But I don't know when that will be, because as I said, I'm going in... Oh, panda. I'm going in holiday in a week or two. And who wants to really cry on their holiday, So what, is it going to be January when I get back in a month that I'm gonna actually, yeah, that I say it, yeah, the post-holiday depression is one of the worst feelings in the world. It's still not enough to make me not want to go on holiday again, but if anyone has felt that, it is really, really sucks. Like, you're on holiday, especially for me, like, I go on holidays for like a month or two. So it's a long period of time where I have no responsibilities. I'm having fun. I'm meeting my family overseas. And I come back and now it's like I have responsibilities. I have things to do. I have to go back to my normal life. I can't spend every day eating at restaurants, going places, just chilling. No weight of work on my shoulder. Yeah, that feeling sucks. Sucks. So I guess that will be my moment to cry. So I wanted to round off this video with another wholesome story to fit the theme, and I couldn't really think of one which maybe speaks to my character, but instead I thought of a nice story, a good memory that I had with my friends. So in my 8th year of schooling, my school did this thing called Slum Survivor. Had you bring bits of cardboard and not rubbish, but structural materials that would help you build a base like people do in slums. I believe they showed us photos of Mumbai. There's a large slum population in India. And with that, you in the afternoon, after the Friday afternoon ends, you build your... Actually, no, it would be the Thursday. The Thursday, after school ends, you go down to the garage, the car park, and collect your materials that your team has amassed. And rest of the afternoon is to build your slum, your little hut for 4 to 5 people to live in for the night. And yeah, we'd actually sleep overnight. Not inside, but inside cardboard little dwellings. A really fun idea. I feel like every school should do this tradition, except maybe not India. I don't know. Probably be a bit traumatic for people having made it out the slum and now going back into one for one night for a enriching school experience. But yes, any other place I feel like would be fine. Any non-slum centric cities or towns. I don't know if it's in bad faith, in bad taste to enjoy an experience that is actually quite harrowing for a lot of people, but you could pass it off by saying it was eye-opening, the way people are living in. Because did I have a good night? Yes, I did, but it was because I brought some contraband. I understand that without that contraband, it would be a miserable time, a miserable way to live. What was the contraband I had brought? Well, first one is my phone. Yes, we're allowed phones, but for the purposes of Slum Survivor, we were strictly told not to bring our phones. If we had a phone, we'd have to declare it, and they'll be kept in some sort of box and given to you the morning after. I really can't remember how they were going to handle the phones, but I remember that I was strictly banned. And then snacks and lollies. Snacks, yeah, we weren't allowed to bring them. Some people did end up having them, but they had it legally because they ran some games afterwards, after we had built the huts, and the prizes were some snacks and lollies. But our group, my group of friends, we had all arranged to secretly smuggle them inside the bottom of our bags. And as we were building our huts, we had this central pile, and that's where we put all the contraband in. I put my phone, my power bank in there. I put all the sweets in there, and there was also a thing called slum bucks. So it was a currency that could be used throughout the day to, I don't know, trade with other teams. So if you didn't have enough materials, subtle foreshadowing, you could trade and get something, or I don't know, pay someone slum bucks to do something. I don't know. But yes, slum bucks was a thing of note, and the teachers were giving them out for good deeds and various activities, such as winning races and stuff. And one time it was all done one day. At one point, there was a bucket, the central bank for the slum bucks, and it was situated right near our hut. So we organized a heist. We were gonna be on the lookout, and one person, put their hand in and quickly stash a few bucks. Now, what we didn't know was the guy who was our robber, not on the lookout, the one who's actually gonna do the deed. We thought he'd just take a few, right? It was a quick operation. It wasn't a planned one. And instead, he took as much as he can. He shoved his hand in there, took out the biggest, most greedy wad of slum bucks, and quickly rushed inside our hut and shoved it in the middle pillar. Once everything had settled down, we looked into the central pillar, and we found that he had taken a wad of $500 note slum bucks. And the issue with that was no teacher had given that out yet. We were being given in denominations of $1, $2, and $5 notes, 10 if you were lucky. Nothing of the $500 nature. So had we have tried to redeem that, we would have caused inflation. A repeat of Zimbabwe, but in 2018. Okay, I've just checked the coordinates again, and we are really, really lost. I thought our X coordinate should be at 0, but it looks like our Y coordinate has skyrocketed. So let's try make our way back. Okay, it appears that this axis is the y-axis, and I'm so stupid. Anyway, I should get to the point. So we had to source our own materials, and the issue was our group severely underestimated the amount of cardboard and stuff we need to bring. In terms of underestimating, it wasn't really underestimating. We just only one person had bothered to actually bring cardboard, and one person's worth of cardboard was nowhere near enough to actually build the hut that we needed. In fact, it was so little that our teacher, the teacher who was at the car park, opened the door for everyone, looked at our stash and was like, "Is this it?" And we looked at him with a blank stare and said yes. And he goes, "Are you being serious? Like, this is not enough. Like, you guys are in some serious trouble. You're not gonna be able to sleep tonight." Said something like that. We were kind of rattled. So he was kind of overreacting. We made do. We did make do. It was a little cozy. It was a little tight, but nothing that we couldn't handle. So at night they turn off the lights in the school, and it's dark, and that's where we're meant to go to sleep. But I whipped out my phone with my trusty power bank, and I downloaded some YouTube videos that we could all watch. Now you may be thinking, why did you need to download YouTube videos? Well, back when I was in year 8, I only had 500 or 1 gigabyte of data like each month, which is crazy to think about now. Now I have 100 times that within a year. It's it was crazy to think how I was kind of slumming it out in Wi-Fi regards, definitely not in the housing aspect. So I downloaded some videos, some YouTubers we liked and whatnot. We were laughing our asses off. It was a night to remember. I remember in particular I downloaded this like Alex Jones, The Frogs Are Gay music video. Some guy like took clips from Alex Jones yapping on about frogs and the water making the frogs gay. We were snickering our asses off. I thought surely someone would be woken up and the teachers would come out and seize the phone immediately, but no. We kept it to a little minimum. It's also the when you try not to laugh and you end up laughing is when it's really, really funny. That's how it almost accentuates the laugh because you're trying not to laugh. And then we ended off the night, and that was good. You know, that was a solid night, a solid experience. But what really settled the cake was it was like super duper windy. Holy crap. Like, we were getting battered. Our left wall collapsed because of the wind. We were on the edge of the U circle if all the teams arranged a U. We were on one of the edges of the U. So we had the brunt force of the wind. And it was very windy. It was very cold. So me and this other guy couldn't get to bed. We woke up at like 4 a.m. or something. 6 a.m., 4 a.m. It was 4 a.m. I remember it was still dark. And we just, at one point, were like, "Are you up?" "Yep, I'm up." So then I don't know, after chatting a bit, whispering a bit, I was like, the new Fortnite season is out. Should I sacrifice some of my data to see the new trailer? Yep. It was Season 8, Chapter... I guess back then there wasn't even a chapter. So it was Season 8, the original Season 8. And it was the Halloween-themed season. And, wow. Just being able to, like, watch that, like, a couple minutes after the release date. Ooh, yeah. Something I won't forget. I don't know. Peak Fortnite or something. Season 4, I think, was peak. But, Season 8 was still very, very good. So I won't forget that for a long, long time. That was, So I guess that's a wholesome moment, you know. While the sun is rising, me and him are, watching the trailer, discussing all the cool things they added, all the skins. Calamity. They added jiggle physics. But awesome experience. Would definitely recommend in a roleplay matter, not in a real life permanent living scenario. Wholesome. I hope you show some wholesome love to your family and friends. Not necessarily in the form of gift giving, but you know, tell them you love them. I was gonna say tell them I love them, but no, that's very weird. I failed my mission today. I hope the gameplay was super duper boring as I was trying to find my way back home. Let me just do a last check. Yeah, nowhere near. Anyway, carpe diem, and I'll see you in the next one.